It's the most timeless underdog story in all of history. David versus Goliath. A shepherd boy that no one believed in, looking up at a 9-foot giant that everyone believed was undefeatable. It's a story we apply to business, to sports, to politics, to a wide assortment of challenges and struggles that each of us face in our lives. And in every version of this story, we want to see ourselves as David. It's easy to think, if I could just be like David, I could fight the giants in my life. The giant of fear, the giant of rejection, the giants of anger and addiction. We all have a giant. That's the bad news. But here's the good news. We are not David. The story of David is not a story about us. It's ultimately a story about Jesus, the one who has slain not just one giant, but every giant. For all time, for all people, Jesus is the ultimate giant slayer. This is the message at the center of Goliath Must Fall. There's a remarkable amount of freedom in realizing that Jesus has knocked down your giant for your good and for his glory. And when we begin to live in that freedom, not only will we see that Goliath could fall, we see something even more extraordinary. Goliath must fall.
In every relationship, from time to time, there is a gap between what we expect someone to do, because, hey, I'll be there at 6, or I'll pick you up, or I'll pick up the kids, and then there's what we experience. Whenever there's a gap, whenever things don't line up, we choose what we put in this gap. And we either choose to believe the best. I don't know why he's late, I don't know why she didn't, but you know what? I'm sure they have a good explanation, and when I get all the information, I'm sure it will make sense. Or we assume the worst. She did it again. He did it again. Happy couples, make it a habit to choose to believe the best, because happy couples know that believing the best is a choice, and it's a choice they can make every single time they decide to choose it. And that's what happy couples know. Happy people aren't churning on the inside, trying to live out some story and get back at somebody and get revenge and get paid back and get everything back to even, trying to reclaim something or force somebody to do something for them. Happy people, and happy people who've had great lives, happy people who have had miserable lives by, any standard. You find people in both categories, and they're just at peace with themselves. And again, you hear their story and you're tempted to take up their offense at their mama or their daddy or their uncle or that neighbor or that boss or that partner. You're tempted to take up their offense, and they're like, no, it's okay. And you're thinking it's not okay. And they're saying, no, it's okay. And you think, what is that? That's peace. Anything that undermines your peace. In other words, when you're about to make a decision and there's something in you that's like, I don't know, you are on the verge, look up here, you are on the verge potentially of undermining your own happiness, because happy people are at peace with themselves, others, and oftentimes God.
Hi, it's Mark Batterson, author of Draw the Circle, the 40-Day Prayer Challenge. Of all the books I've written, I don't know if there's a book that's had more impact than Draw the Circle. About 500,000 people have taken the 40-Day Prayer Challenge, and it's been a game changer. I think there's a couple of reasons. Something happens when you do something for 40 days. In fact, my goal isn't really to get people to pray for 40 days. It's to establish a prayer habit so that they're still praying on day 41. But the other thing I learned is this. I challenge people to not do this alone. Do it as a family or a couple or a small group or even a church community. And we did it at National Community Church a few years ago. And there were so many miracles, so many breakthroughs that God did. You know, part of it is just being on the same page as a church and heading in the same direction. And so I want to extend a personal invitation, really an exhortation, to take the challenge, to dream big, pray hard, and think long.
The cool thing about this is that we get to recover and pursue God's design from wherever we are. We don't have to turn back the past. We get to go and believe God and walk with God from right here. Now, this is just the gospel piece. There's other things that you need to learn and other things that you need to rep. But I hope that this will help you as you learn to share the gospel of Jesus, turning everyday conversations into gospel conversations.
The only way and easiest way to sign up is available on the Christian Center app. Open the app. On the lower left corner, you will click on Signups and then click on Connect Groups. You can then choose the study you want to join. And if you have any issues with signing up, please find me or stop by the 411. Signing up for Connect Groups is easy with our app, and you can sign up anywhere and anytime. Get signed up early for the group you're wanting to join.